Hi and welcome back to the channel. This is just a very brief update video on a couple of new features I've recently added into LiveStacker. So the first is a normalization step within stacking. So I have two LiveStackers here. This one has normalization off, which is the default setting, and this one over here stacks exactly the same data, but it has this normalization checkbox set to linear. So it's going to be quite useful, particularly for if you're using Sigma clipping or Windsorized Sigma clipping, because obviously what that's doing is looking for outliers within your data. And if you, for instance, had a sub come in that had an increase in background illumination due to moon or whatever, then the values may end up getting clipped more than they should, or vice versa. So although you can use it for average and it will work fine, I suspect for Sigma clipping and Windsorized it will be more of a benefit. So over here was the original stack. Signal to noise of the final version was 2.25, and on the version I've done with the normalization on, it's increased it to 2.59. If I zoom in, I can just about make a little bit of a difference in improvement. I won't do it because I don't think it'll show up very well on the video, but it's certainly worth having a look at, I think. It does use a little bit of extra CPU. You can, on the monitor, if you're interested, look at how it increases the stacking time within the monitor between running with and without, and then you can make a determination as to whether or not you think it's worth doing or not. The second change I've added in, I've added these two checkboxes, remove hot pixels and remove cold pixels. So again, by default they're off. If you do have decent calibration frames, then they should remove these pixels for you. But if they don't, or if you're, as in my case, not using calibration frames, you can put these on and it will remove any hot and cold pixels that it detects. I do have some hot and cold pixels on my mono camera, or hot pixels rather, on my mono camera, but they're quite hard to spot. So it improves minimally on my mono camera. But I've got some data from someone else who has a color camera, and it's definitely worthwhile doing if you have color. Again, I've stacked the same color subs in these two versions of LiveStacker. Now they basically look quite similar from this level of magnification, but if I start zooming in, hopefully this will be visible on the video, you can see there's some color artifacts, and I think this is a combination of a hot pixel being left in and the debayering process sort of turning it into these sort of weird artifacts. So if you do see those in your color images, what you can do is just remove the hot pixels, and again, if I zoom in, hopefully you can see, if I compare these two, there's none of these weird artifacts that you would get if you don't have decent calibration frames and don't have the remove hot pixels on. If you have a cold pixel issue, these subs don't, so I wouldn't bother putting it on. But if you do, obviously you can have a go at removing the cold pixels. And once again, if you look at the calibration times in the monitor, you can see how much extra CPU it's using to run these functions. If you switch them on, and then you can make a determination as to whether or not you think it's worth it. So that's it.